Hello everybody, I'm Jared Alls. Today we have the special privilege to interview former President Mr. Richard Nixon.
Hello everyone.
Thank you for joining me today, Mr. Nixon. I mean, it's an honor.
The pleasure is mine.
How are you doing today, I must ask?
Oh, I'm fine.
So I really want to get away from the political jargon in this interview, so I'm just going to ask you more about yourself in general. If that's fine.
Fire away.
All right. So, what was it like growing up in Yorba Linda?
Oh yeah, Yorba Linda. Well, I was in Yorba Linda until I was about 8 or 9. I was born there, of course, and my dad had a small farm there. I don't even think he had cattle, if memory serves. But the farm failed when I was about 10, and so we moved to Whittier.
And what did he do when you got to Whittier?
Well, my dad opened up a couple of stores. I mean, they were conjoined stores, so he opened up a grocery store, and on the outside of that there was a gas station.
And how long did you live in Whittier?
Well, I lived there long enough to attend Whittier High School and graduated there. And after that, I got a grant to go to Harvard.
Really?
When I graduated. But I couldn't attend Harvard.
Oh, why's that?
Well, my brother had come down with an illness.
Oh.
And my father and mother weren't they weren't doing the best. So I had to stay back and tend the store and my brother so I could help him through his illness. And so because I was staying back, I had to attend Whittier Community College and then subsequently Duke University of Law.
And was law school difficult?
Not as you might think. It was difficult in different ways. People always think that law school is just full of a bunch of hard noses and brown nosers. And, yeah, but it was relatively difficult. Excuse me, frog in my throat.
That's fine. So, I mean, how well did you do when you graduated? Were you?
I graduated 3rd of my class.
Really? Well, that's really impressive.
And it made even harder and more difficult because of the fact that scholarships were in a scarcity at that time.
I see.
Juniors and seniors, I mean, sophomores and juniors weren't getting the same scholarships they used to. And so I had to compete with these people to hold on to my scholarship.
Right.
And graduated 3rd of my class and managed to excuse me again.
That's fine.
Managed to hold on to my scholarship and become a decent lawyer.
Yeah. I mean, and so when you went to Duke, was that a good move, do you think?
I think that Duke was a fantastic move on my part.
Really?
Everything I've ever done or ever will do, I can attribute to Duke.
Wow, that's impressive. So what did you do after you graduated from Duke?
Well, after Duke, I said I wanted to go into the FBI, and I sent them a letter.
Really? How did that go?
Well, I never got it back. I never got a letter back,
so
I could never go into the FBI.
Sorry.
No, it's quite all right. Anyway, so I stayed in Whittier for a good while and practiced with a law firm. I forget what they're called. They're probably still there. All things considered, though, they may not want to see me. And I opened up my own branch after practicing with them for a while.
And how long were you with the law firm?
I was with them until about 1940 or thereabouts. And then I married my wife, Pat, my current wife. The only wife I've had, of course.
All right, sir.
And we moved to D.C. And then in around 1952 or so, I ran for state senate against
Helen Douglas.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I won.
Really?
I won.
Really?
It was
so that, I mean, winning that. I don't know if it was your first attempt at trying to get into that, but that's a large boost in a political career.
Yeah, at that time, from going from a lawyer to
A senator.
Yeah, a senator. Oh, God, I am tired. I did not get any coffee this morning.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, going from a lawyer to a senator is a big jump, and it was a big successful jump. I personally was surprised at actually being able to make that jump.
Really? So what happened after you joined the Senate?
Well, after I joined the Senate, it was just, what we would just do the regular things that all senators would do, and just handle with the political aspects of the state itself.
Right.
And then if you fast forward to 1960, and Eisenhower is running for president or thereabouts. Not 1960. I am totally off.
Yeah,
I'm totally off.
That
was 52.
It's okay, sir.
I'm going so far ahead. Anyway, Eisenhower elections.
Right.
And Ike didn't have a running mate.
So they chose you.
Well, I was recommended by a higher up political figure than myself.
Right.
And Ike said he'd give me a go. So
yeah,
we ran together.
And
we
you
won.
were the vice president.
We won, yeah. And I was vice president. I have to say that it was very influential. A lot of what I did in presidency can be attributed to Ike as well.
Right. So what happened in 1960?
I ran against former President Kennedy.
Right.
And I'd have to say that it was a very fascinating experience.
Yeah.
I never even dreamed of running for president before. Vice president, yeah, sure, but president, never. And it was kind of strange to stand up there on the podium next to Kennedy. And it was an amazing time in my life. And I just have to say that Kennedy was an outstanding figure in history, all things considered.
So you don't have any hard feelings against him?
Oh, of course not. He was better suited for the job at the time. The country needed to mature a little bit before I could be elected.
All right. Well, I mean, these have been some very wise words from a wise man.
Well, thank you, sir.
I mean, I know there are some people who think negatively towards you, but in all honesty, I think you were a great president. So thank you so much for being on the program tonight. Mr. Richard Nixon, everybody. Thank you, sir. Have a good night.
You too.